Hello guys, I want to talk to you about this video I recently posted about how a lack of appreciation can cause major workplace issues. Now I cross-post on many places, and one of the Facebook groups I use is bullying, harassment, and discrimination in the workplace. These are the people who are targeted by me specifically because I know that they could probably use a little help. So I just got a notification today that there was a comment. I'm like, awesome, I love engaging with people to see what's going on. And I read it and I thought, well, that's not exactly what I was expecting. So I wanted to share with you what was said and then kind of talk to you about the decision tree. So Nicole writes, while I get you're trying to get followers, your information is useless for people that are being bullied and harassed in their workplace. Okay, first of all, I find that kind of ironic because my information is directly targeted for those who feel bullied and harassed in the workplace. So it makes me think I need to work on my marketing and my messaging. But by the time people get to this site, meaning the bullying, harassment, and discrimination in the workplace Facebook site, it is because they've already tried reporting it and being ignored by a system that sees them as causing the problem rather than help stop the harassment. Do I know this happens? Absolutely. This is why I do what I do. The sting of being overlooked, along with the other video I saw you post, are completely tone deaf. All right, we're getting a little bit of an insight into what she feels about my videos, but here's the great thing, Nicole. You have the choice as to whether you consume them, whether you integrate it, or whether you pass right by. I appreciate you taking the time to send me a message. It's obviously not a message for you. These videos would be better for people working in a harassment-free job that are dealing with minor office politics. Okay, first of all, if they're in a harassment-free job, they have no need for this content because they have no problems. Minor office politics, absolutely, that's exactly where we should be interacting before it becomes a big issue. Getting overlooked is the least of one's problems when their workplace is emotionally, socially, and even physically unsafe for them. I agree. We want to make sure that we don't get to that stage. So I thought about this, and one of the first things, if I were to be completely honest, one of the first things I saw and wanted to react to was that my messages were useless and tone deaf. Partially because I know me, I know my experiences, I know my research, I know my skill set, and I know the impact I can have. So I initially wanted to be defensive, but I know I have a choice. This is the decision tree. I can write back and become defensive, or I can write back and become curious, or I can write back and become grateful. I have a choice. So I'm going to share with you how I decided to interact with this. And it didn't take me long to make that choice. I quickly moved out of the feeling offended into I want to help. So here's where I am trying to serve. If people find value and want to access the content, they have a choice. Right off the hop, I'm instilling to Nicole, she has the power to walk on by this material. I have a different belief system, I suppose, than the one you present. It's an assumption, I don't know. I do not find information useless. There are many people at different stages in their journey, in different positions, and with different needs as it relates to identifying toxic workplace behaviors, learning how to manage their own reactions and interactions, and recovery. Again, this is about ownership and choice. It's a decision. I was one of those people who was bullied and was so afraid to leave my home. I lived with the anxiety and panic attacks and recovered from agoraphobia. I felt she needed to know where my expertise was coming from. I didn't get into all of the education and the communication training that I do and the conflict management I do. I didn't feel it was necessary. I just wanted to resonate with her that I'm here. I'm one of you. I could have easily allowed myself to slip into the depths of depression and become irrelevant in this world. It was not what I wanted, and I had to make a choice to change my life and reclaim it. Again, I'm talking about empowerment and decision of self. It is hard work, and not everyone is ready to do it. This is my acknowledgement that I don't believe Nicole is in a place to do the work that she can do to take the power back in her life. Now, again, this is a perception, but it's based on her interaction with me. My hope is with repeated exposure and education, I will help others move out from toxic behaviors and move towards living a more peaceful and connected lifestyle. My hope for you is that you see the value and share this message to those who may need it but are unsure or afraid to seek it. It is only when we come together and support initiatives that they can take flight. I thought that's pretty good. wasn't long after that I got another message that she had replied, and it's quite a lengthy one. I'll try just to highlight some of it. There we go. It's all this here. After reading this message, I feel like I am confident in my assumptions about this particular person, and that she's really hurting. She's struggling. She's feeling very much like a victim. I've been there. I was also wanting somebody to just do something for me. But this is about empowerment for yourself, Nicole. So here we go. Conquer conflict. It's likely because you don't know what people are dealing with. You haven't the foggiest idea what it is like to fear waking up every day, because that means you have to go to a job where you are afraid for your own safety and where management and HR see you as the problem because you have the audacity to just hope that they may stop the harassment instead of seeing you as the problem. I do understand what it is like to be fearful every day waking up. I also know what it is like to have management and HR feel like they are not on my side. It isn't helpful for those being harassed that they have bigger problems to deal with. In fact, it is minimizing their plight and essentially insinuating they are the problem, and if they would just listen to your advice, bullies will stop bullying, harassers will stop harassing, and their supervisors would do their job to ensure this. In fact, in my videos, I talk about self-empowerment, and I don't talk at all about how we change others. I talk about how to impact your own relationships. So this to me is, again, I think evidence that this person is looking for someone to do something for her. I totally get it. That these people will miraculously start caring and be nice if the victims here change their approach. As I said, things like how to deal with favoritism, LOL, tone deaf. Now we're crossing a line from sharing her opinions to mocking, belittling, intimidation maybe, and these are consistent with bully-like behaviors. And this is where we talk about conflict. And conquering conflict is being aware of our own behaviors and how we are contributing to a conversation. How about how to deal with not being able to go to the bathroom at work? Because if you do, people will follow you so that they can say that you did something you didn't do to get you fired. So you hold your urine and feces all day. This sounds like a horrible place to work, and it sounds like you might be mocking what I'm trying to help people with. And those who are also going through this. This is not what we want people to do. Maybe you can help people manage their bladder better, because that was something I needed to manage better. I would say that is not something you need to manage better. In fact, that's a health concern for me as a nurse. But if that's what you think you needed to do to deal and feel safe, then that was one of your choices to make. How to deal with people pushing things into you, blocking your path, and threatening to rape you and still do your job well. Now, this is serious. These are physical threats, and physical threats are not what I help people deal with. I do guide people to use the proper authorities, use the proper processes and documentation. Is it a perfect system? Absolutely not. And if you've done all this stuff and you still choose to go to work, you have the option of maybe stress leave. You have the option of finding a different job. You have the option of calling in and taking a sick day, providing I know that you're still getting funded. There are some contextual things where people don't have those benefits. I understand that. How to get your boss to believe you and to do something about it when he honestly doesn't care and won't. Doesn't care or want to be bothered. You can't get your boss to believe anything. This is the whole thing about conquering conflict. It is not about changing another person. It is about changing self. Everyone here has managed their reactions more than you realize. So, to speak on behalf of everyone, these are broad generalizing statements when you use the word everyone, always. Those are trigger words that show me that you are probably really struggling, and I do hope you find some help. Because everyone is not here with the same thing. The problem isn't the people on this site and your message that they need to change. They need to manage their reactions. Is just piling up the message that they got at their job that the problem is them. I'm not saying anybody has to change. I'm saying should you choose to change, I have some tools that will help you decrease the negative impact of conflict in your life, and you will live a more peaceful and a more connected life. You can, when you're ready, you can come and explore that more with me. The problem is the harassment and bullying going on in the workplace and bosses allowing it and blaming the victim. I absolutely agree. This is a problem. It's a significant problem, which is why I'm one of the voices trying to help people reduce the impact. Listen to some people's stories on the site and tell me how your video of being overlooked is relevant to people that post here. Again, this is borderline bully-like behavior and maybe intimidation trying to make me feel like what I'm contributing is not valuable. So there's a lot in there that I could react to and choose to engage. I choose to engage in a loving way, right? Had she said this all to my face, it probably would have been a little different. I wouldn't have had as much time to process and think. But I am going to offer Nicole an opportunity. Nicole, would you like to have a Facebook Live conversation to clear up some of your misunderstandings? I think it will help you move past the negative emotions you have right now so that you can be part of the solution and not contribute to the ongoing problems. Hating on me is not your issue, so let's see if we can become allies in the fight against bullying. That was almost an hour ago, and while I did see the speech bubbles come up a couple of times, she has yet to respond to my offer. And I thought I would just share this in terms of, okay, first of all, there's things here that most of us would react to, right? The messaging of, oh, this is useless, you're tone deaf, you're not hearing me, you don't get it. We all want to defend that, yes, I do understand you, but I choose a different pathway. I chose to be kind. In my mind, she had a different perspective, so she came back with a little bit more to say. Again, I could have reacted to, she's laughing at what I'm talking about, that I'd seem to be tone deaf. Again, that's in there, that I don't understand what it's like. I haven't the foggiest idea. There's an awful lot of accusations, and these accusations come from perception, misperception, and she's sitting right in the judgment zone from her interpretation and the reality. And unless she's willing to move out of that judgment zone and have a conversation with me to understand really what's going on here, it will always stay in judgment. So I share that as a learning opportunity for you all watching, in that you do have the choice. You do have the power, and what you do with it influences what you receive.